Well, that's a good news. I'm happy, starting your week with a very good news. Yeah, so good morning. It's good to be back. My name is Ibrahima Balde. We are back again on another edition. Yes, of this program. Ade mune bumade use Ibrahima Sori Balde because we got NFC screen be. So we are back. I'll still go with the Ibrahima Balde. Mr. Boj, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
How was your weekend?
Same as it was last week.
How is that? It cannot be possible. Surely there are some differences.
Changes,
really,
Mr.
not
Boj.
really.
Wow.
You see, I don't know. Because
routine.
at this age now, everything is routine, isn't it? In many
They
ways.
blame
So nothing,
age all the time.
But
age.
even routine,
Yeah.
when you go, you meet
Try
different
something
people.
new.
I rarely do, though.
Go to the beach.
The only... Well, I haven't been to the beach because I haven't had my kids recently, because whenever they come, you go to the beach.
Okay.
But I haven't been to
So
the beach recently.
they're back to school.
Yeah, they're
So
back
they're not
to
hanging
school
with
now.
daddy now, weekends.
No.
Mhm.
But we'll have to resume that.
Yeah.
As we say, mangia galu.
You're missing your boys.
Exactly.
So they love the beach. They love going to the beach with daddy.
Just hanging out.
What activities do you do with
I don't know,
Malik
play football,
and
swim, football, swim,
swim? Okay.
take our long walks, and just having a chat.
That's a very
I
caring
encourage
dad.
that. I encourage that.
That's lovely.
Oh, what else can we
Yeah,
do?
so, we are back on the program, and Mr. Carr is our newspaper review guest. Mr. Carr, good morning.
Good morning. It's my pleasure always.
I'll help you with that mug.
Yeah.
That cup there. You enjoying your coffee. Next time I'll bring my own
tea,
coffee.
actually.
Oh, that's
I
tea.
hardly
Mr. Mboj is
drink
taking coffee.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are back again, and we'll take a look at the African Code. From the Code, the newspaper review. Mr. Carr will do the newspaper for us. And of course, we'll be talking to Luke Jata, Public Relations Officer of the Gambia Prison Service, justice reform, and the Gambia-Senegal prison collaboration. We will be talking to the PRO, and World Mental Health Day. We'll be having Sylvia and her team here. We'll be talking about this. And it's Breast Cancer Month as well. So tomorrow we will be doing a lot of programs on breast cancer. Screening. We'll have experts here. They will take us through on what to do, how to examine yourself. Remember, last year, we invited the economic forces. They were here, and some of them were able to tell us how to examine yourself as a person who suspects, you are affected by breast cancer. So we would be also doing a lot of that this month because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Yeah, so we'll take a look at the African Code, and it reads, Mr. Mboj, if love is a sickness, patience is the remedy.
Patience.
It's the remedy.
Yes. If love is a sickness, no, that's an interesting.
If love is a sickness,
then
patience is the remedy.
yes,
The
already.
cure.
Yes, but already I sort of get into trouble with seeing love as a
Love.
sickness, but it's a conditional, isn't it?
Love is beautiful.
Well,
It's a
this
beautiful
particular context is an interesting one. If the conditional, the person uses the conditional here. If love is a sickness, then patience is the cure. Then what does that mean? I don't know.
So let's put it into, let's try to break it down. Love is a sickness, patience is the remedy. So, it involves a whole lot of things. It involves a whole lot of process. Maybe here is an individual who's going through a lot of things because of love, you understand? But give it some time, it will mature and it will come, you understand? Or you love someone, you cannot express your feelings to the individual, but you've been patient for the right time. Probably this is what the proverb is talking about. Maybe.
Well, I am coming to different. And if you like something extremely, you have to be patient. You have to be meticulous. You have to plan in order to achieve or to get hold of it. So I think that kind of state of mind of being very patient and timing is of the essence in a lot of things. So when the timing is right, you strike the iron while it's hot, then you get what you want. So but if you are in a rush, you like something, you make a lot of mistakes along the way, and you end up losing it. So therefore, it's always important and it's very advisable that you exercise judgment. And sometimes judgment requires patience because you have to do a lot of calculations as you take different steps towards accomplishing. That's my understanding.
You see, this is it. So, man, I can't know, maybe I'm just too literal here. This idea of the love being a sickness. Imagine you are, where love gives you pain. Imagine you love somebody, but the person doesn't love you back. For how long do I have to live with the pain?
That's a feeling. It's a very hard feeling.
No, that's it. So I'm thinking of the pains, the trials of love, how to endure the trials of love.
But that's the patience here.
That's the patience. So that's why I'm reading it in that sense, because we've all sort of been there, especially when we were teenagers. Oh my God. The sort of the pangs of love, the pain we went through at certain circumstances. So that's how I see it. But with patience.
Certainly not you. From what I heard, you used to be the poster boy. And,
Oh, don't go there, don't go there.
Okay,
We had
so
our
I
trials.
back off.
We had
I was
our
just going to
trials.
speak
We had
on
our
air, and here a lot of people would come and say, Mr. K, I agree with you entirely. On.
So that's how I see it. How to endure the trials of love. That's it. So that we can eventually get
The
calm.
trials
Only
of-
patience.
Yeah.
can
When
get
we
you
say
through.
love, people tend to focus on the romantic.
The
but there is
romantic
platonic
side,
love
yeah,
as well.
platonic love,
The
big
love that
time.
you have for your parents, for your children, for your sisters, for other people. So love can transcend that boundary of being just romantic. But because we are conditional in the way that we reflect on words, we are just latched onto that particular dimension. But you can broaden it.
It
to be a
depends on
platonic-
which situation
and
you
you're
find
talking
yourself.
about the
yes.
parental love and when other love, sometimes it can be painful.
Yeah, you
Because
can
of
have
the
a kid.
relationship.
You can have a kid that is very
Exactly.
wild.
That's it.
But you love the kids. You have to have the patience
Exactly.
to train, to
Exactly.
accommodate, to educate, to enlighten until you straighten that particular individual. So that's why you said you have to expand.
So
it.
let's try to put this into a nutshell. I mean, it's telling you if you want something, you need to be patient. It's telling you if you want to achieve your dreams, you need to be patient. You have to go through all the processes. Take your time. I mean, there is no shortcut to success. I mean, it's telling you, patience is necessary when it comes to certain situations in life.
When they say patience, they mean you have to be very calculating for every step that you take consciously. What method, what plan, how do you get to the objective, the bull's eye? So you have to be really very focused in terms of getting there. So that is the underlying word, patience. In
Although
this
sometimes they will...
And how do I deal with boredom? I think that goes to the very, very heart of patience. You see, when I'm involved in a process, necessarily for a process to go from A, the initial stage, to the end, it will take time. So in between the grind, the little boredoms, how do you manage
it
that?
depends on the excitement along the way.
How do you
It might
manage
not
that?
necessarily be boredom, depending on the activity. Some activities can be very interesting and exciting along the way. So as you go, maybe it opens up, So.
For me, that was really the key. How do I deal with boredom? That's really, then I can move on. Otherwise, I'll just break it where I need to be disciplined. I think discipline goes to the very heart of patience, actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how do I deal with boredom? I think once I managed to have an idea about it, at least, it helped me in many ways to deal with long stretches where I'm waiting, but not be pained by the waiting.
How you handle and comport yourself in those kind of situations. Although it is said the patient dog eat the fattest bone, but not always in other cases. Yes. So I mean, thank you very much, viewers. That was the African proverb. At this point, we'll take a short break. After the break, then we will take a look at the newspapers. So we'll be right back.
Gambia's leader in optical care with 5 locations offering the best in visual health. With cutting-edge European technology, Opticalia delivers single-vision lenses in just 20 minutes. At Opticalia, we care about our future. Eye exams are free for individuals under 18, ensuring everyone has access to quality eye care. But it's not just about vision. Opticalia also provides advanced audiology services to ensure your hearing health is in the best hands. Our audiology services offer European standard hearing aids and diagnostics, ensuring everyone can hear clearly. Whether it's testing or treatment, you can trust Opticalia for your auditory care. Opticalia offers European standard products, fair prices, and exceptional value all under one roof. Visit Opticalia at the Tropic Shopping Center near Senegambia or call us on 7767-121 or at any of our regional branches. Banjul 7767-126, Brikama 7767-123, Farafenni 7767-124, Basse 7767-125. Opticalia, love what you see and hear.
Gambia, are you ready for something big?
From your trusted GSM operator, QCell, your favorite app just got a major upgrade.
From your phone to the world, buy credit, buy Sunu bundle packages, loan credit with eFankanta, and buy Q Power all in one place.
And here's the real upgrade. Q Money is now fully integrated in the app. Send money, pay bills, save money, so faster and easier than ever.
And for our entertainment lovers, stream QTV, Q Radio Live anytime, anywhere.
But that's not all. This upgrade also brings enhanced security features, smoother performance, and a brand new interface designed to save your time.
This is more than an app.
This is freedom at your fingertips.
Download the new QCell app today and unlock your digital life.
For more information, call our customer care on 111.
QCell, Sunubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
We are back. You are watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Abalde. Debo Bunono on Thursday. Fila talks evening.
Yeah.
Mane, good evening. You are watching QTV this morning. see program in Ministry of Health.
Course, yes.
Yes, exactly. So we are back. Let's take a look at the Point newspaper. And one of the headlines of the Point newspaper reads, veteran journalist Abubakar Bruce Asimota laid to rest in Sifo.
Oh, Asimota?
Yes.
He passed away.
Yes. So it seems to be a big name in the Gambia.
Oh, yes.
Asimota.
For a long time, I think, especially during Jammeh's period, he was here, or perhaps even just before Jawara's period ended. Because I remember him in the papers, in the Point, all the time. I think, wasn't he the sort of legal correspondent or something? I think he did a lot of legal reporting.
He must be a very prominent person when it comes to the Gambia media.
Yes.
Because I've seen a lot of his tributes circulating on social media, you know, in connection to his death.
I never knew him personally, but his name was quite familiar to me in the paper, because I've read a good number of articles written by
you see what the good job can do. Yes. So Gambia praised for passing personal data protection and privacy bill. You know, Mr. Carr, I mean, here Gambia is praised for passing this bill. And what do you think of this?
I think it's important. It was long in the making and people were expecting it. It's one of those bills that is non-controversial, that have an easy sale, you know, when it comes to the National Assembly. So it's no surprise that it did go through. But, you know, it has a lot of ramifications in terms, especially in modern times. Such type of legislation are important. We need them in order to really catch up with change in terms of technological use, you know, data and all these things. So it's always good to refresh the law to reflect the times, and this is precisely what this particular legislation is here to address.
Absolutely. For me, when you said praise, so I said praise by whom? I wonder. That's one. And yes, so now we implement. Quite obviously, nobody will question the importance, the significance, the timeliness of this, given the age we live in. All over the world now, they're passing data protection, personal privacy laws, all sorts of things.
Absolutely.
So now the next stage, it's all well and good, you know, passing these laws. And I was just having a discussion with our GM this morning when we were coming back, where I said I read one survey where it was indicated that when it comes to passing legislation, validation, and all the rest of it, we score quite high. It's about 64%. But when it comes to implementation, we score about 16%. And that's roughly across the board. So now this is it. Now let's implement. That is one habit that we need to learn.
The implementation process of certain laws in the Gambia, what do you really think it's the problem, that mechanism of implementation? Why can't we just implement certain things that are already passed?
That's a dense question, but
follow up. People do not follow up when assigned certain responsibilities, and if you don't, people do not execute it at the tail end. So therefore, if at the tail end there is no action, then nothing happens. It just remains, you know, documented and sitting there on the shelves. So nothing happens. You can have the most beautiful of legislation, laws, anything, but as long as it's not practically applicable, then it becomes useless.
Exactly. I once read this book. You may look it up online. It just came to me. Atomic Habits. It has to do with change and how to form institutional culture. Very interesting. I can't remember now the name of the author, but this is it. If I want to achieve certain outcomes, or I want to encourage a certain institutional behavior, there are certain conduct that I must routinize. It is in the everyday, what we do every day, that will give really what happens in the end. But you have these institutions, we all know how we behave and stuff like that, and we all come with a plan, and fine, we want to achieve this. And yet, when you look at our daily habits, you don't see that urgency in it. You don't see the habits, the actions that we must do, really, interwoven into our daily habits. I think this is why he called it atomic. You must reduce it to the very minutiae of action. That's really where you can say it. We don't get that. We cannot run institutions because we never routinize these habits that will give you outcomes.
Absolutely. Yeah, so another headline on the Point newspaper. Armed robbers escaped to Senegal after attack in URR. The Gambia Police Force.
Of course, the border is very porous.
Border is a very porous border.
Senegal and Gambia, that describe you know, something. But I think they are working in collaboration with the Senegalese government, very close. So sometimes these people can be apprehended because people would know them. The villages are very close, and most of the time they come from the vicinity or the satellite of those villages. So it's just the collaborative work between the Senegalese government and the Gambia government to ensure that criminals do not go across borders to be committing crimes and using the other side. So we make it difficult for them. So
absolutely, and the relationship, you know, and within the whole concept of the Interpol thing, there's really nowhere to hide. If it works well, isn't it? You can run wherever you want to, but you'll be caught.
Absolutely.
Given the collaboration, as you're saying, of these things.
Well, well, I think, Mr. Carr, you said it right. I mean, that's the right thing to do, collaboration, because without that collaboration, you know, there cannot be proper monitor of our borders. As you know, they are very porous. There are places that you go to, you cannot even differentiate Senegal and the Gambia. So it's important.
But it's good for them in as much as it's good, because criminals, like, you know,
entering
you don't have
your
them
territory.
whether they are in Senegal or in Gambia, they are no good. So it's good they apprehend them. I mean, try them in Gambia.
Yeah,
or
entering your territory as a criminal is really...
You cannot condone
so
them.
ex-soldier Sanyang to appear as High Court resumes today. I mean, Sanyang, the ex-soldier that was on Coffee Time the other day and said a lot of things about Jammeh's government and Adama Barrow's government. So he's to appear today at the High Court.
It's rather unfortunate, because I used to hear Sanyang a lot during the Jammeh era. He was an activist, you know, but he said things, you know, that put him in trouble. I think they should review and look at him, and then, you know, sometimes, you know, these individuals, just the exuberance of show off, you know, but I think they should really assess and then grant him pardon and allow him to go back. I don't see him as a major
as a threat or
security
something.
threat as such. I should assess him, I think, in other aspects.
I think there's a brilliant point that showing off, showing bravado. You know what I mean? That self-importance and stuff. I think it's got more to do with that than any genuine threat, as it were. I think that's a very good point.
So, I mean, Lamin J. Darboe declares independent presidential bid. I mean, Lamin J. Darboe, the famous lawyer, legal practitioner, is also about to join the race, Mr. Ka.
Lamin is a very brilliant lawyer, constitutional lawyer, one of the best lawyers. I know him in our days in the struggle in the UK. He is very much respected, and within his rights, like anybody else, is his caliber of people that really we want to see, you know, contesting for the presidency. But, you know, to be a president requires a lot. You know, the challenges are there, the hurdles are there, you have the political base, you have all this. There are a lot of ingredients that has to be present, you know. But to talk about the character himself, definitely you have to give him thumbs up that he did tick a lot of boxes in terms of being a very sincere and highly intellectual, very competent person.
Absolutely. And I've interviewed him a few times. And I really like the guy. So when I read that, I said, oh, Mr. Darboe, you want to get onto the wrestling mat of politics. I'm not sure how good a wrestler are you?
That's what we cry for all the time. We say the intellectual shy away from the politics.
Exactly. That is true. But look, we've had Halifa Sallah. We all say that he's such a brilliant man. We all say that he's so honest. He
Nobody
shows
can
integrity.
deny that.
Nobody will vote for him. So let's be honest. Politics is just politics, really, everywhere. It takes a certain wily character. Unfortunately, we want all these people with integrity and all of that. We'll never vote for them. So it takes a certain character to be able to do politics in the way you talk to people. Do you have the charm, the charisma, they call it? Where does it come from? I do not know. So it takes much more than the intellect, the cognitive aspects, to be a successful politician. I think this is what my experience has shown me.
That's why I said there are lots of ingredients
Absolutely.
that ought to be present.
Yes,
really
Coming up,
make it
we've
viable.
also seen Talib Bensouda, I mean, formed his movement, and you know, it's been really making a lot of noise over the weekend. You know, so
There has been a lot of speculation, and people knew that some of these things are not surprising to most people because they expected that. We have seen the trajectory of Talib. We all witnessed the UDP leadership contest and, you know, how he withdrew, recused himself from it, and then now movement. We don't know. There are a lot of gray areas that needs clarity. You know, I mean, people are talking about, has he resigned from the party? Is the party going to expel him? That, you know, he's showing this tendency that he wants to be. So there are a lot of issues that ought to be addressed, you know, in order to really establish him as a person that have really come to the fray, independent, without any strings attached. Because as far as I'm aware, I haven't seen any resignation letter formally, you know, but the declarations are indication that, you know, that is the direction he is heading to, but it needs, the ambiguity has to be resolved at some point.
yeah.
That's it. He's turning out to be a kind of force in himself.
Absolutely, yeah. He's the
Not
new
least
star.
because, look at this, we're talking about him. People are talking about him. A lot of things being said about
He's
Talib.
undoubtedly a star.
Absolutely. So where we go from here will depend on his decisions. Absolutely.
And the team.
How does he handle this? But it appears that there is some traction
Absolutely.
to the Talib Bensouda ticket. How he manages it. That
He's-
will determine.
He definitely has a brand, and the brand did catch the eyes of a lot of people. But like you said, you know, it's never a one-man show. It depends on the team and all these things and how he come across and the force, you know, all those things. Because people are watching, they are also listening to see the direction, you know.
Absolutely. I have often said that NPP's opposition isn't born yet. Perhaps it's in the process of being born. We've seen how the pattern in our politics, really, haven't we? PPP, then NCP came along, haven't we? APRC, then UDP came along. So now, really, where UDP should have been, NPP outmuscled them. So now, NPP will be gone.
We are looking forward to another.
Yes, we're in the process of forming, really, Barrow's opposition, NPP's opposition. It's not born yet.
Most of these parties.
It cannot happen in the absence of a solid coalition amongst them. If they go fragmented, there is no doubt that NPP is definitely bound to win. And all the indications are that NPP is to lose these elections from what we are seeing, because there is a lot of fragmentation within the ranks of the opposition. So therefore, NPP have to revise their strategy and then be focusing on certain things. Because from what we read the last time in terms of the opinion polls, I hope there will be other opinion polls to give us indicators, the undecided voters, and they exist, they are there. They are still observing and watching in terms of, you know, the political field, what is happening, what are the new dynamics, what are the alliances, what are the coalitions. So all these things are in the waiting. We have barely 12 months to go, and a lot of things can happen. A day in politics is just...
Absolutely. So we are going through the process now, isn't it? So out of the splinters of this UDP, and then it will be interesting to also see what's going on PDOIS. I can hear certain tremors, rumblings in there as well. So out of these splinters and new ones, then you will have a body that would emerge to be NPP's opposition.
Or maybe not.
Or, I think politics hates a vacuum.
Yeah, well, they can go fragmented.
Something
that is what I'm saying. That
Mr. Boyd is talking from the trajectory of the history.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, because of egos and interests, sometimes these things tend to clash and they don't give way to each other. And that is precisely what we have seen within the ranks of the UDP. And then it's fracturing. We have seen the splinters.
That's it. But out of that, out of the splinters.
But the splinters in itself, if they cannot come together, also then it's game over.
For now, you are never going to have everybody come together. But I think that you'll have a major one, and then the little ones around.
Yeah, but who are the major ones? Some of them have been players and they expect to be the leaders. The new ones, the rising stars, they expect them to be leaders. So these are the conflicting contradictions that will either make or break the ranks of the opposition. If they cannot come together, hey, then it's NPP.
There are few names around, isn't it? We were just talking about Talib, and we had SFR. Now we were just talking about Mustafa J. Dabo. There are other names coming up who were really not associated with politics, except, of course, for Talib. You know what I mean? He's won 2 mayoral elections. I think that's really what gives him the edge, that electoral edge, that experience. That's interesting. So how these things play out, they will play themselves out. But sooner or later, I think then you have one major one emerging and lots of smaller ones.
You'll always have a rising star.
Yes.
Is Talib the new rising star?
Exactly.
That is yet to be seen. We don't know. We have to see.
We'll see, yes.
So, I mean, Mr. Carr, this one goes out to you and all the teachers. World Teachers Day. You know.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Congratulations to my folks. Like they say, if you are a runaway teacher, you know, but I've done my bit. I did teach like across the country. I taught in many schools up to Pasamas behind Fatoto. I taught in Kafuta, I taught in Kosemar, I taught in Kampama School, I taught in 7-Day Adventist. So I did teach a lot of kids, you know, and, you know, some of my students do come up to me and say, oh, teacher, one day Saturday I was sleeping, then I had a phone call and I'm wondering who. Then it was Dr. Bitte. He called me and said, Mr. Carr, I've always wanted to call you and express my appreciation because you taught us and all these things. Some of us, we are who we are because of people like you. So those are the things that the teachers do get. So it's never translated in monetary form. It's the pleasure that you see these people have gone to achieve things much more than you and bigger and in a certain context. But, you know, that's the pleasure of the teacher, that you impart the knowledge, you give them values, you give them certain direction, and some of them go to achieve things, and that is the beauty, the love that the teacher. Not to say that teachers don't want money. Of course, they should have paid. They should be paid properly, in order to take care of their needs. But at the end of the day, teaching is a very noble profession. And if you look across the board, you'll find most of the vice president used to be a teacher. Minister of Defense now, Mr. Juve. If you look at the teachers within the cabinet and structures of government, you will see how important, the teaching field can be, because it equips you with skills. If you look at the world of politics, most of them would have been teachers. We can attest to that. Some of them, the Nyereres and all these people, they were teachers. So teaching is a profession that equips you, that prepares you into a world of, prepare you become ready for anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Talking about Nyerere, Mwalimu, the teacher.
The teacher.
That was why he was known as Mwalimu, the teacher. Absolutely. My father was a teacher. And then afterwards, I ran a tertiary institute. The best definition of a teacher. Fantastic. They say teachers are like candles. They consume themselves to give you light. Extraordinary. And that's really what the teacher can do. The most important member in many ways of the community, because you are the one who will the family China, the values of the society, you are the one transmitting it really in that systematic, structured way to the next generation.
Yes.
So
you are the one who would canalize our brains.
Imagine moving someone from illiteracy to literacy.
Extraordinary.
You understand? So it's definitely a very noble job.
To give them power.
It is, and just to manage kids, especially mentioned the primary level, where kids, they are just something else. You have 50, especially our classroom sizes, you will have 50 kids, children to manage.
In one
This
class.
one is jumping there, the other one is howling there, the other one, is sleeping there. So with their characters, and teachers are able to manage
you
these
manage
things.
all of them.
You just at home, you have 1 or 2 kids, and the whole day you cannot handle them. And you give 50 of different backgrounds, different class, different everything in one classroom. So they are seated there, and this person is supposed to manage them every day from morning till 2 o'clock. And this one is chaotic, that one is a fighter, that one, so all these characters. So teachers, thumbs up and congratulations on this day. You are doing a fantastic, job that cannot be rewarded in monetary terms. But hey, they definitely have to be appreciated and celebrated. I think we should invite them to
I think the ministry is also, looking at the plight of teachers, improving certain conditions, setting different, certain criteria for teachers as well. Because when the minister was here, she mentioned some of the projects that they are doing, to make sure they empower these teachers as well. So I think
especially their housings, like when we lived, our challenge then, I don't know, now used to be, the housing projects. They should have a lot of, housing projects for them. And also sometimes I know they have this cooperative society that helps, also allocating them also land, just like any other people. Teachers do not benefit from all these things. And they're the ones that toil. When you see them, you celebrate them. You have achieved things, but you forget them. You don't reflect their journey and see what they do. Well, I think they should definitely be considered, in terms of certain packages, to make life easier for them so that also they can benefit.
So on the Standards newspaper's headline, the main headline, ex-AGCC takes government to Supreme Court. Remember, these courts resume today.
That will be the court of I don't know, the century or whatever.
The court of the courts.
These are constitutional matters. Of course, we know that looking at the Supreme Court, we know that the court has the power of judicial review. So that is its mandate, to review constitutional issues and then look at first to interpret the Constitution. They have that. Second one, declare the actions of the executive or legislature unconstitutional. They have that power as well. Order remedies if rights have been violated. That is other one. So then you look at the remedies. What are the remedies available? Boj was asking me restitution. So that is one thing that they ought to looking at it. They can declare the action of the executive null and void. They can also order reinstatement of the Auditor General. So they have tremendous powers, issue mandatory orders, called mandamus. That is to compel an official to do something. So all these are tools that they have that they can use. So this would be a very interesting and exciting trial that Gambians would be latched onto to see what the outcome would be, because they are constitutional matters, and then it's important.
Absolutely. And certainly the nature of his removal has left us sort of gobsmacked, to say the least, in some instances. So it will be interesting to test it, as it were, to test that decision in the courts. What will the Supreme Court say? I can't wait for that ruling.
Yeah, so let's close with the final headline. I mean, Sabally says Bensouda will not win presidential election even in 2036. I mean, it's expected of Sabally.
That's an opinion.
It's an oppositional statement, so we expect the opposition to say this. And Mr. Carr, thank you very much for coming and reviewing these papers with us. We appreciate the time you've given us, despite the short notice. Thank you. Yes. So viewers, will be right back after the break. From the break, we'll be engaging the Public Relations Officer of the Gambia Prison Service, Luke Jatta, on the Senegal-Gambia prison collaboration. We'll be right back.
Q Money is changing the game with mobile money payment. Now, you can pay your QCell mobile broadband plan faster, easier, and way more convenient with your Q Money wallet. Just open the Q Money app or dial *323#. Select option 4 to buy or pay your broadband plan in seconds. No stress, no lines, no last-minute panic. Whether you're streaming your favorite shows, browsing the web, or working from home, stay connected without missing a beat. Stay connected the easy way with QMoney's QCell mobile broadband payments anytime, anywhere. For more information, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Senior Carpet. Terms and conditions apply.
Q Money and Orange Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell, the fastest growing network in the Gambia, now presents to you the eSIM. QCell's eSIM allows you to electronically scan a code and join the world of digital SIM cards. Customers with physical SIMs can easily switch to the eSIM as well. So rush now and get connected with an eSIM and start using the latest mobile technology with your trusted GSM operator. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply. Browse with us. QCell brings you a promo like never before. Get unlimited internet for just $25 Cs. Yes! Recharge $25 Cs and enjoy the convenience of free internet from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day with our Browse with Us promo. With this amazing offer, you can browse, stream, and download all your favorite movies for free. So why wait? Recharge $25 Cs today and enjoy free internet only with QCell between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Do your banking the smart way with the new Ajibank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Ajibank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Ajibank, your investment partner.
We are back. You are watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Balde. Now let's head to the other segment of this program, Justice Reform. And we have the Gambia Prison Service PRO in the studios with us. And we'll be talking about the Gambia-Senegal prison collaboration. We have Mr. Luke Jatta, Public Relations Officer of the Gambia Prison Service. Should I call, what should I call, inspector? Look, what should be put on your name?
Yeah, I am Superintendent.
Superintendent
Luke Jata.
Luke Jata. Yes, it's good to have you here.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for extending the invitation, especially when it comes to prisons and also prison management. I think we are so much delighted that we are back on this platform to discuss issues relating to prisons and its management. Thank you.
Good. Yes. So let's talk about this collaboration. How did it come about?
Yeah, thank you so much. I just want to give us a brief background. Sometime the Gambia and Senegal have a bilateral cooperation when it comes to security, and then this is what breathed to this cooperation. And during the security cooperation between the two nations, prisons was also part of it. Initially, the Gambia prison service was not put into it much, but it also happened that last year, sometime back, one of our officers, who is an operation commander, who was part of the visiting the team that went to Senegal, and then that was when issue of prison also was also embedded in it, and through that, and then a communique was then drafted in respect to areas of interest when he had already informed them that we need A, B, and C, and then this is what breathed to the courtesy call, which is the formal visit by the Director General of Senegal Prison Service on a 4 days working visit to the Gambia Prison Service.
All right. So what is this collaboration going to do, I mean, for the Gambia and Senegal?
Yes, if you look at Gambia and Senegal, we are, when you look at, we have a lot of commonalities when it comes to the culture and also when it comes to the security, because we are bordered by both east, west, and south of it. However, we have seen that Senegal being a nation which has also developed and transcended when it comes to security, and then part of the collaboration that we also intend to do is in the area of security, bear in mind that they have gone far when it comes to prison management. So part of the bilateral that we intend is to make sure that they also support in security, because we've seen that they also have the capacity. Imagine they have a lot of, if you look at Senegal, they have more than 30 prisons. So that shows that when it comes to security, they have advanced, and also they can also help to transform, support us in any way that they can. And also not only that, we have also seen, let's say, information or intelligence sharing. Let's say, for instance, when we experience escape of the next closed door is Senegal. So part of the cooperation that we also intend to make sure that when they escape, so that they also able to share information, and also if the person is apprehended, so that they are also able to translate that in a swift response, so that the person can be repatriated back to the Gambia. Not only do it, we have also looked at capacity building. Bear in mind that they also have a training academy in Senegal. So through that MOU, we also intend to make sure that capacity building from all sectors, be it from the junior and the senior cadre, because we believe that capacity building that except the Gambia now is a lot of capacity building is ongoing. If you look at when you look at the context before now, the Gambia, except when you come to in all form the security officers who are there, the prison officers, a lot of are going to academia, others are going into other areas, except when you come to capacity building. And we believe that this cooperation will enhance and provide, because we are service providers. So since we are service providers, capacity building, it's something that we so much put attention to it, because that is what we help to transform the way that we work.
Let's talk about how is this going to be coordinated. I mean, it's good to put pen to paper, sign MOU, but how are we going to coordinate this, to be very realistic?
Yes, because if you look at the coordination, because we believe that it has to be action-oriented, just as you said.
True.
And then that can only harness when two of them are we really meant what we put on pen and paper. And then that alone, both parties have committed to themselves to say, since this is the area that we intend to, and we make sure that we put it in reality. And then if you look at the visit themselves, the Senegalese counterparts were very, very excited, because they have shown that commitment. And that commitment makes sure that we put it into action. And not only that, the government has also seen so much interest. Like, take example, when we visited the National Security Advisor, and this was what he reiterated, that this collaboration will strengthen it, and then the government of the Gambia is willing and will give its utmost support to make sure that this cooperation and all that is needed is provided for. So that alone speaks that, not only from our end, but also from the senior government institution, which is the National Security Advisor. So that alone says that the Gambian government is willing and very committed to make sure that this cooperation becomes a reality.
True. Mr. Mboch.
Yes. This is interesting. Earlier on you talked about, well, one of the areas of cooperation is, for instance, when prisoners escape. But I thought that once the prisoner sort of escapes, then maybe you would inform the police.
Yes.
And there are other agencies
Very
who
well.
would take care of that.
Very well.
I'm not sure, what will the collaboration change? What would it add to already what exists?
Yes, because if you look at that, because normally when there's escape, you know, the security forces in the Gambia, there's joint collaboration, not only the prison, the police. And then we got to the, when part of our visit was, courtesy call was to IGP. And then our visit was also centered on that area too. So that to say, so that they're able to harness that, because when escape happens, of course we understand that the police are mostly involved, except when they apprehended, who do they give it to? You can see that, you know, there's this Interpol and relations one. So you can see that it is multifaceted. So here we are thinking that in the event that this happen, because I think the first people point of call is the police. So when the police say, so it should be now the prison, which is in Senegal, so that they're able to facilitate, because then we also look at focal persons. So that focal person will be an intermediate within the two countries. Let's say one in Senegal, one in Gambia. So in that sense, that person will be a liaison officer in coordinating. Now also early information that's needed, he's the very person that to be contacted. So that would it help to ease the communication gaps that exist between the two countries. So I think these are areas that that's very, very important. Just as you said, the police are the center point of it, because they do most of the work. All right? But in the event that they are not able to do that, because if you look at prison intelligence, part of it is also prison intelligence.
That would mean what?
No, when we talk of prison intelligence, it's more of information sharing. Because, you know, intelligence is a different form, you know. Information is raw, and then intelligence is when that information is being processed. All right? So probably, because in as much as these cases have taken place, so that intelligence will be translated in order maybe to help that person to be apprehended. And then we know that Senegal, they're very good at that.
That's it. I just wanted to know what this so-called collaboration would add to the process or outcome. How does it happen right now?
Yes, because now...
Look, let's say before the collaboration.
Yes.
Give me a scenario of how things obtained, and with the collaboration, what will change?
One, looking at, one we also look at, if you look at Senegal, except when you come to what part of it is reformation processes, training for inmates. We've seen a lot that Senegal is doing. And this has also through the support of partners. So we're also trying to say that, so that these inmates who are out there, in the Gambia we're doing a lot when it comes to inmates reformation. All right? And part of it is because, and also what we call reintegration processes.
I wanted to ask that.
Yeah, because Senegal has a very good system, because through our engagement, then we understand that they have a very good system to reintegration process. In the Gambia, yes, we mostly focus on security and then reformation. But now the aftercare, is how do we make sure that
you reintegrate them in society.
So Senegal, then through the capacity engagement, that will also help us in that aspect. I think this will really add value to what we do. Like, let's say, for example, they have other areas that they want us to expand. Because part of it is also seeing what we have and what do we think we are add on, and then improve on the service delivery that we offer in the prisons. So I think these are very good area, that one. And also let me come to officer capacity building. Right? There's ongoing capacity in the Gambia. But we want to extend that so that, let's say, for example, 40 of us, they are just neighbors. Maybe on a run we said, okay, let's take 40 of our officers to go and train maybe 2 weeks or 1 month. Imagine having that good number. It just, you don't need a play, just on road, and then there you are. And they are very, very glad to say, you know what, in as much as we have now sent in that on book and paper, so make sure that it comes to reality. And coming to reality is both of us trying to make sure that we give it all that we have, and we also try to support in the areas that we think we are better.
So let's just one more before you come in. So now I understand. It's a question of how, for instance, do you run prisons better?
Very well.
Training. Perhaps even how do you prevent escapes, as it were, before they happen. So this is my point. What about better treatment of inmates? For a very long time, we had during the TRRC what was going on, and afterwards you had embarked on the whole series of reforms. So now you've mentioned lots of things about.
When you say better treatment of inmate, it is, it's vague.
It is value laden.
Yes.
But again, we've seen in the past that they were being beaten up.
Right.
We've heard that.
Very well.
The food that they were given.
Right.
So it was like they just simply didn't lose their liberty. They also lost their humanity virtually. And we all know that when you are sent to prison, you never lose your humanity. You merely lose your liberty, and they should treat you with respect.
That's correct to say. As I always say, TRRC has opened up.
Absolutely.
And then it has, it's given us an overview on how prison is. Ideally, I just want to say, when the new government came, right, certain clauses in the prisons were overhauled. Except that when you come to it, because like human right is a fundamental. And then as I say, we are service providers. And then a lot of improvement has ongoing. Except when you come to their feeding. We have seen where they that the feeding was very bad. Just to tell you that through that yearly, the Gambian government, improve on the budget allocation. To tell you of recent, when you come to the food service, imagine from 27 million to 50 million.
That's every year?
That was like 2-3 years back. Gradually, year before it was 48 million.
So that's annually?
That's annually. So that shows that, there is a remarkable improvement when it comes to their food and food services. Because that's as I said, through that food and food service, because it's a fundamental human right, because as I say, we are service providers. And for us to be able to come to the reality of the service that we provide, it has to be optimal and effective. And we have seen good things happening. Except when you come to human rights, because now we have seen a lot of the good, the environments, even where they are, is very bad. There's a lot of improvement on that. Except when you come to their structure that we are talking of. If you look at, of course, most of the time, the outcry that we have is that they remind me. That's the center part. Yes, there's still a problem in humanity because we experience a lot of inmates coming in as a demand, gradual on a daily basis. And but the government of the Gambia and this partner have committed. When you go to Joshua, you are marveled to say that, as if, some at some point would like, is it a dormitory sort of? Better service delivery, because that's what we're looking at. Because in as much as our work is to security, human treatment is also part of our mandate. So we give them a bit of it because they're human beings. In as much as somebody's rights has been taken away, that liberty, of course we need to accord them all the fundamental principles, except when you come to bedding and accommodation, because it's something that we are so much concerned and something that we work on daily basis to make sure that we give them that effective treatment. That
prisons, I mean, it can be anybody's house.
Very well.
You never know when you're going to find yourself in that situation.
Nobody's immune.
Nobody can say, okay, I'm not going to prisons. Nobody knows. Even Balde can go.
Very well.
You never know. So the reason why we are talking about the conditions of our prisons, it's to make sure we make it better. It is supposed to be a rehabilitation center.
Very well.
It is supposed to be, okay, I get in there, if I go out, I become a better person.
Very
you understand? But I shouldn't go in and add something that has to do with my mental health. At some point, seeing things that will definitely deteriorate my mental state. So are we planning to get a new prison? Because the one we have, according to what I heard, is not fit for purpose.
Yes, that's why I say it's another subject of when you say not fit for purpose. Because when you say something not fit for purpose, meaning that that nobody can live in.
Yeah, that's what many people
Many
said.
people,
We've
yes.
seen recently the gala team, they left the prison and they were complaining
Yes,
about,
we have
about the prison.
Yes, conditions. Just as you said, yes, if you look at the conditions, the prison itself, it was way back, the way 90s.
Yes, absolutely.
On contemporary correctional settings, right, it is something that we also working on, because it was not, prison was just meant just to have a few people. But gradually, because of this growing, and then a lot of improvement also go, because the structure itself will tell you that these are not newly structures. These are old modern structures. So what we do is just to rebrand them, give them a facelift, and ensure that, just as you said, it is fit for purpose for human being to live in. Yes, there's an outcry. Indeed, we have seen a lot of outcry. Those are went there and come back, telling us of the condition. But to tell you that we are not even also happy with the conditions, because to us it's like we need better services. We need better, the environment itself where they are living. We want better service delivery, because, as I said, our work is to achieve effective service delivery. We are service providers. On that note, to your question, when it comes to, of course, a new prison.
A new prison.
This was when the president came in, and then a pronouncement was made that, of course, part of his plan is to make sure that we build a better prison, a new prison, so that would cater all the issue of human rights that we are crying of in prisons, except when they come to accommodation and all what is needed within. Just to tell you that the government of the Gambia and its partners have secured funds. In fact, this was also reiterated again when we had a visit with National Security Advisor, that he also reiterated the two partners that now the government has secured funds. Very soon it will kickstart, so that we build a new prison.
Oh, wow, a new prison.
And then not only that, the minister himself, when this Mansa Bengo that was also made, that was I think in August, specific, that he also informed the general public that the government of the Gambia and its partners have secured funds to make sure that we build a new prison, which will take care of all the issues that have been outcry of inhumane treatment and all sort of things that has to do with prison management. So I think that alone shows that there is commitment now.
Okay, but just before you leave, I just need to clarify something. I'm not sure. Building a new prison, what does that mean? Are we going to close Mile 2 and then we have a new one? Or is it going to be Mile 2 will still exist? It's just that we've added one more. Just as we've got Mile 2, we've got Joshua.
Yes.
That's it. So the other one would be just one more on top of what we have already. Or are you going to close Mile 2? What does it mean?
Yes, I think ideally is to make sure that Mile 2, according to
Will
the plan,
still exist.
not to exit, but to close it down.
To close
And
Mile 2.
because that was the plan. Because if you look at the money involved, we understand that some partners were also interested in buying off Mile 2, so that extend their service delivery. So ideally, even the recommendation of the TRRC and also watchdogs said, you know what, Mile 2 has to be closed down. Ultimately, because of the environment itself and where it is, it's swampy, and also other areas, factors you're looking at that. So to them is, we close our Mile 2 and then build new prisons where can cater, because even new prison, according to them, it's about the capacity of thousands. And if you look at the capacity of a prison, that shows that, I think if that is built, it will really, really help to shape in the outlook.
It will decongest Mile 2. Yeah, so thank you. Thank you, PRO Luke Jata, for coming on the program. This is not a witch hunt program. We are not saying the authorities of the Gambia Prison Service don't want it to improve. We all know, we all want better conditions.
Very well.
But sometimes, because we are financially pressed at some point, and we understand these prisons have been there for a very long time, you understand? So certain things, they change gradually, and we are happy you people are coming up with a new prison.
Yes.
Very soon, I mean, all these issues will start dying down and people will be more comfortable again. So thank you very much for talking to us.
Are you being a PR for the prison service?
Well, I am just trying to, I'm just trying to acknowledge the good job that they are doing. When they are doing a good job, you need to give them a tap on the back. But when they are not doing it too, you need to tell them.
Very well.
So we are happy that you were able to at least put everything on the table, and we hope to engage you more in the future.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate for this moment, and then to enlighten that we are service providers. And part of our work is what? To rehabilitate, reindicate, and what? Go back to society. Because if you look at most of the work that I'm doing, except when it comes to rehabilitation process, we have seen a lot of training ongoing. Of recently, we marvel that there's a structure ongoing. It is built by the inmates from onset till where we are. So that shows that that's a lot of remarkable things.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you. We've exhausted this time. Viewers, we'll be right back after the break.
Q Money aning Orange Money ye bulo di nyola pour ka kori kio sone yandi ka bonang Gambia banko kang kata Senegal banko kang aning Q Money wallet eka mune batu imuna fan Q Money account wala sign pour kadati ka kodoki iterimal anila dimbayal kana aning Orange Money Senegal ni lafta ku senengo sotola je Q Money customer care kumandi 133 Q Money sunyu kalpe nying sartol le bala Q Money e Orange Money Johnny webini nuldugol mbudi mi yetoma Johnny ida wawi nuldude mbudi e rako Gambia do yaha Senegal e Q Money wallet maung e ko hon wonda e fadde mi yetoma uduto Q Money account ma on Johnny fuddoda nuldude mbudi e teribe ma e wadon ka Orange Money nder Senegal fi yebugol hen ko labi ida wawi nuldude Q Money customer care e 133 Q Money suñu kalpe dum no yadi e sartaji Q Money ak Orange Money ñoo lëkkaloo pour yombalal leen yónnee xaalis bàyyi ko Gambia dem ba Sénégal ak Q Money wallet looy toog di xaar dawal léegi nga ubbi Q Money account pour nga mun a door di yónnee xaalis sa xarit ak sa mbokk yi jaarale ko Orange Money Sénégal léegi pour am si lu leer mun nga call Q Money customer care si 133 Q Money suñu kalpe lii dafa ànd ak sarta yuñ tëral.
Opticalia, Gambia's leader in optical care with 5 locations offering the best in visual health. With cutting-edge European technology, Opticalia delivers single vision lenses in just 20 minutes. At Opticalia, we care about our future. Eye exams are free for individuals under 18, ensuring everyone has access to quality eye care. But it's not just about vision. Opticalia also provides advanced audiology services to ensure your hearing health is in the best hands. Our audiology services offer European standard hearing aids and diagnostics, ensuring everyone can hear clearly. Whether it's testing or treatment, you can trust Opticalia for your auditory care. Opticalia offers European standard products, fair prices, and exceptional value all under one roof. Visit Opticalia at the Tropic Shopping Center near Senegambia or call us on 7767-121 or at any of our regional branches. Banjul 7767-126, Brikama 7767-123, Farafenni 7767-124, Basse 7767-125. Opticalia, love what you see and hear.
Gambia, are you ready for something big?
From your trusted GSM operator, QCell, your favorite app just got a major upgrade.
From your phone to the world, buy credit, buy Sunu bundle packages, loan credit with eFankanta, and buy Q Power all in one place.
And here's the real upgrade. Q Money is now fully integrated in the app. Send money, pay bills, save money so faster and easier than ever.
And for our entertainment lovers, stream QTV, Q Radio Live anytime, anywhere.
But that's not all. This upgrade also brings enhanced security features, smoother performance, and a brand new interface designed to save your time.
This is more than an app.
This is freedom at your fingertips.
Download the new QCell app today and unlock your digital life.
For more information, call our customer care on 111.
QCell, Sunubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
We are back. You're watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Obalde. Now let's head to the other segment of this program, and we'll be discussing World Mental Health Day. And we have Dr. Sylvia Lorenzi, right? Yes. Founder of Director of Peace of Mind. And of course, we have Aisha Tugay, Case Manager. Ladies, welcome to QTV this morning. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
This is the second time, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Aissatou, it's your first time on this
Yes.
program.
Yeah.
So you are the guest here. She's been here with us. Yeah. So let's talk about what's happening.
Yeah.
What's happening around mental health and what activities are ongoing, Sylvia?
Okay, first of all, thank you for inviting me again. I really love to be here and to talk about mental health, which
Thank
is
you.
such an important component of our health that is very neglected still now, and that is actually so important for us in order to do our things, to work, to take care of ourselves and our families, interact. So this year I'm so happy and so proud to say that for the first time ever in the Gambia, a civil society organization under the leadership of the Ministry of Health and the Mental Health Program are coming together and organizing a Mental Health Awareness Week. Activities will start on Friday, and we will have a series of events that include also media engagements in order to spread awareness and knowledge to the general public. So there is still a lot of work to do when it comes to understanding what is mental health and understanding what are mental health issue and understanding what can be done also in order to improve our mental health.
So when we talk about mental health, what does this mean to you?
Okay. So I can say that mental health is a component of our health. We have physical health, right? And then we have also mental health that includes the way we talk, the way we think, the way we feel, the way we interact, the way we perform, right? So when our mental health is poor, it's very hard to do those things. It's very hard even to sleep and to eat and to do our basic things. When our mental health is high, we are able to cope with stressors. We are able, to run our life in a way that, of course, challenges remains there, stressors are there, but we can, overcome them and just move forward. When our mental health is low, it's very hard. And we all know that, right? Because we all know that sometimes life is very hard and sometimes we feel so down. So let's say that is a continuum and we are all moving there. And from one side of the continuum we can say the healthy plant, the plant that is having very blooming leaves and very, very nice to see. And then on the other side of the continuum we have the plant that is sick. And we reach there when we develop a mental health sickness. No one is immune to those sickness, right? Everyone can get potentially sick, but between, the two extremes, there are zones that we are passing by and things that we can do in order not to get to the sick zone. Yeah. And that is an everyday job, I would say.
Bring her in first.
So it's good to have you, Aissatou.
Thank
I
you.
mean, what is your take in this?
When it comes to the Mental Health Day, like Sylvia said, very, very happy that we will be having a whole week of events. It's very nice to have the civil society organizations and the Ministry of Health partner and collaborate because it is definitely a team effort. In regards to mental health, as Sylvia said, I think ultimately it's important that we understand that it's applicable to everyone. Like she said, no one is immune, and understanding that it really is about your day-to-day life and activities. It is your responsibility ultimately to kind of keep yourself in that healthy zone when it comes to your mental health, but also understanding that life stressors are normal, and it really is about how you cope and how you manage stress that will kind of help you stay in that place where you do feel capable to handle just life.
Interesting, Mr. Mboch.
That's it. The way you describe the mental health, just as important as physical health, really.
Absolutely.
But I wonder, well, it appears as if we've neglected it for a long time. I think this is the first time you said that you're having this collaboration between the ministry and civil society organization. How do we explain this neglect?
Okay, this is an interesting, Let's say that in general in the world, mental health always comes last. How to explain that? I would say that, in general, we are not really taught to look inside ourselves and to take charge of our feelings, to take charge of our thoughts. We are always so busy in minding what the others are thinking about us, what our parents, might think about us. So it's like the attention is always outside. So taking care of our mental health means to turn the attention inside and to start to see what is happening down there. And and also when it comes to mental health sicknesses, I would say that it can be very scaring to see people out of their mind, and there is a lot of stigma and discrimination still regarding what is happening to people that are sick. So in the past it was easier to just say that those things are related to spirit possession, to spirit manifestations. So I think that part also is bringing more and more fear about it. But thank God, I would say, with the knowledge and education and researchers, we are just coming to understand that there are sickness that are affecting us, and those are the symptoms of those sicknesses, and they can be taken care of, and treatments are available, therapy is available. But on the top of that, if we take good care of ourselves, the risk to get sick is lower. So I would always, encourage when we do trainings, when we are out there talking about mental health, people to start to take in charge, for example, of their sleeping patterns. So in the Gambia, it's quite common that people are not sleeping well. And that is then affecting, the mood, the way they interact, the way they are productive or not productive during the days. And, by simple and easy, strategies, is possible to improve the way you sleep, and your mental health will benefit
what
from
happens when you say people are not sleeping well? Is it people don't sleep early, or people don't have proper sleeping plans,
We can say both of them. I can say that people don't care. They think that is not important. So they are not aware of the importance of sleeping well. So people are drinking ataya until very late at night. People are using their phones until very late at night. People, they are eating maybe, very late at night. So I think it's lack of care about lifestyle. So by going to sleep 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, then maybe they wake up, they take their phone again, you understand? Then by morning time, maybe they slept 3-4 hours. So how we can expect, to go to work and be productive and be, in a good mood, and very hard.
True.
Very hard. So usually by, reducing the use of the phone, by avoiding to drink ataya or coffee after 8 o'clock, just small things, you can already see a lot of improvement.
So, what have your organization been doing, to support people that have been going through this?
So at Peace of Mind, we do a lot of advocacy, of course, but ultimately we do a lot of psychosocial support and capacity building. That means essentially training essential workers to understand what mental health is, how to recognize signs of poor mental health in their clients or in themselves, and to also create that awareness and normalizing mental health struggles, ultimately. Psychosocial support, as in providing individual psychotherapy as well, Dr. Sylvia does, and some of me and the other counselors do as well. So from a smaller scale to maybe students in universities who are handling generalized stressors such as exams or transitioning from school to like the work culture. Being able to provide one-on-one counseling sessions with them definitely helps in kind of helping someone develop strategies to manage life stressors, as I said earlier, or helping them understand that the stressors are normal. So at Peace of Mind, a lot of the work we do is just advocating and also sessions, psychosocial support. And is there anything you'd like to add?
No, I would say that in general, we help people to take charge of their life. We have this common belief that, stressors are bad things, bad feelings are bad things. So we keep on running away from them. We keep on, putting them under the carpet. But that is not the way, because it's not sustainable. Yeah. Because then you will see this big mountain under your carpet.
You need to manage them well.
Yes, exactly.
So if you start to manage things while they are coming, it's easier. And there is, nothing, you know, they say what doesn't kill you will make you stronger, right? So let's start to deal with our sadness, with our anger, with our frustration. Let's start to address what is causing us those, because then we can move forward and we are lighter. If not, you know, it's like we are, you know, overloading ourselves, and we reach the point that, you know, our mental health will go low. It happened the same if I have a gastritis, I don't take care of my, you know, lifestyle. I can develop an ulcer, right? So with mental health is the same. Yeah, and unfortunately, you know, some of us, they have a very rough life, very hard life. So then it's really important to have, you know, a healthy lifestyle and healthy coping strategies in order to deal with what life is bringing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Given the hard hurdles you have to face, what impact do you think you're making?
In the Gambia?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm living here now is 10 years.
Yes.
So I'm really trying to, you know, to have a team of people that, you know, will help me to push, because here is, you know, it's always that. And I strongly believe that maybe it is still very slow, but one day we will see that people will be more, you know, knowledgeable and more aware of mental health, and that is what we need, because majority of people, we need that, just to know more about it, to know that, you know, mental health is a component of our health, and we need to take care. No one can come and take care of, you know, right, what we think or what we feel. It's just ourselves. So if I know how to do that, it's up to me. And if I do that, I see the benefit, I cannot stop. I will not stop. Yes.
Absolutely. What about you? Especially with you around here, you know about the social norms, the beliefs. I think that must be one of the hardest really hurdles. Knowing what you know, how do you think that you can maneuver, as it were, yourself around? How do you deal with that?
One, I definitely deal with it by accepting that this is where we are starting from. So I think when you have been outside of the country or are exposed in some way, you can definitely come from a place of frustration, like, oh, it's so obvious, why don't we get it? But I think having that experience just helps me understand, because as a Gambian who's also lived outside of Gambia, it's like, okay, I know an example of what this should look like, so now I have a point of reference of like where I can slowly scaffold you to kind of get to. I think one of the biggest issues we have as well, or problems we have, is that silence culture, like that suffering in silence culture, which is not just African, but it's definitely African and definitely Gambian, where we kind of just, like Sylvia said, sweep our problems under the rugs, or it's like, if we ignore it, it'll go away. But I think when it comes to mental health, or any health, but mental health, you can't solve a problem that you don't know you have, right? So that's why advocacy and awareness is so important when it comes to mental health work, because you need to understand that this thing that you are experiencing, or the way you're handling this situation is not normal, because you don't know, right? So a lot of the times, like when you go to radio programs, for example, we'll always start by saying, like Sylvia said, everyone's mental health fluctuates. It is completely normal. So when you start there, you've already created an understanding, because now we know that, okay, I feel sad, and that means other people feel sad too. And even though I've been told from childhood, why are you crying, or you're being dramatic, now I know that that is not the case. So I think ultimately just making sure people understand that this is a universal experience that really does help with kind of opening up people's minds and their hearts to just healing, ultimately.
So do Gambians really care about mental health, their mental health?
Yes, I think that it might not be under the label of mental health, but I think ultimately not just Gambians, but everyone wants to live a life of quality and wants to feel happy or content, right? Or at peace, ultimately. Even if you don't know that it is caused by poor mental health, you do recognize that sometimes you feel sad or you feel down, even if you can't name it. So I think we'll meet people who have never been exposed to like mental health or stress management, etc. And once they do, they always end up saying, oh, wow, you know, I didn't know about this and I was always feeling stressed, but now I actually know how to handle it, or now I actually have the self-awareness to recognize what this feeling is. So I think it's difficult to care about something that you don't know exists. But that's why the first step is always to raise awareness and make sure that people understand that mental health exists within you and everyone, whether you title it as mental health or not. So, yeah.
Absolutely. This is very, very interesting. I don't want to sound philosophical at all. Yeah, at all. But this is it. Because where you have this focus on the individual, isn't it? Individualism, I think it's easier in the West in many ways.
Yes.
Here we have a more communal sense of the I, as it were. So here, then, the methodology of how to deal with this communal I, the individualistic I wonder how much does this contribute in designing and helping you design your methodology of engagement? I wonder.
Yes, yes, yeah, of
You
course.
see what I'm trying
we
to
are
say?
still on it because it's like, you know, we are progressing and people are following and we are just, you know, redesigning. But we are having recently, you know, the opportunity to really have long capacity building programs in place. And, you know, through discussions, through activities, through meditation, you know, we just guide people to understand that it's okay to, you know, to give priority to our mental health. It's not that we are neglecting people, but if we neglect ourselves, we cannot even be there for people.
Definitely.
That is the reality. So we need to satisfy, you know, our needs and make sure that we are fine in order, you know, to be there for people in a more sustainable way. If not, we cannot.
Very interesting.
Yes.
So you need to create the individual.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
I have to, because I remember thinking that,
Yeah.
God, I first experienced myself as an individual in many ways in England. Over here, you're either a son, nephew, you are a category. It was quite fascinating when I suddenly discovered Mamadou Mbodj. I said, whoa, that's a strange thing. that sort of thing. So you have to create the individual. Therefore, you have to break the mold.
Ultimately.
Yes. And create boundaries also.
Break boundaries.
Yes.
Hence the difficulty.
Yeah. But everyone is doing
culture.
in his own or her own style, according, you know. So we just give, you know, options, and then everybody will pick
You
what,
choose
you
from.
know.
Yeah, so thank you.
Fascinating.
We've exhausted the time already. Thank
Yeah.
you very much, Sylvia, for
Yeah,
coming.
you're
and
welcome.
Aisha too.
Yeah, it was a
thank
pleasure.
you, and we wish you all the best. And you know, keep advocating.
Yeah.
Keep. I mean, counseling people. I believe gradually things will change.
Yeah.
I mean, mental health should be everybody's business. You know, and we hope to engage you again.
On a different
Another time.
platform.
Yes, on a different.
Because I
We
think
are
with
here.
this sort of talk, one has to really go back to first principles.
Yeah,
I
so-
think that's an easier way
Yeah.
So
of
thank you very
penetrating.
much. Thank you, Mbodj.
We are available.
Just
Thank you
that.
so much.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yes.
so viewers, this is all we have for today. We'll be back here again tomorrow for another edition of QTV This Morning. Until then, enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye.